Hello everyone, this is Craft Classy and I'm Carolyn. I've got 3 farmhouse DIYs for you today, and they each cost only $1 to $2 to make, so very affordable. I'm actually trying out for the first time doing a Heidisonbouldiychallenge challenge. The challenge is Farmhouse, so I will link that playlist in the description box below where you will find other DIYers that are joining in. I do hope I do this correctly. As you know, I'm very much a YouTube newbie. Let's jump right into today's DIYs. For the first DIY, you will need a sink strainer from the Dollar Tree. I'm using 2 to make 2, but you can use however many you'd like to make however many you'd like. You'll also need some glue and some nails. I ended up trying out both the clear Gorilla Glue and the super glue from Dollar Tree for this project. The Gorilla Glue was not from Dollar Tree, but the super glue was. I ended up preferring the Gorilla Glue over the super glue, but you can use whatever you like. Some E6000 would work great. So you're just going to take apart the sink strainers and remove and discard the round rubber circle and the little knob as well. And I found that a wide mouth mason jar fit the sink strainer perfectly. It fit down in there to hold the sink strainer while I was gluing the nails. If you were looking at the title page of this video, you probably saw what I'm making here. If you didn't, some of you might be thinking I've lost my mind gluing some nails to a sink strainer, but I'm trying to recreate a flower frog. It's an antique. You can find them in antique shops. I mean, I suppose somewhere someone's still making them maybe and using them, but it's more of an older thing that florists used to use. But now people just tend to use them in their decor to display pictures or cards. Um, I'm always on the lookout for them at antique shops, but I have yet to find any to purchase that I like. So I just thought I would try out making some of my own. For the center hole, it was just a tad bit bigger than the others. So what I did is I just took a washer and glued it down and then glued the nail to that. This Gorilla Glue requires that on one of your surfaces you spray with water. I suppose it's sort of an activator for the glue. Um, and that's the brown Gorilla Glue as well as like that, but so is this clear Gorilla Glue. So you saw me just spritzing the sink strainer and then putting the glue on the nail and then just dropping it right down in there. Super glue usually is an instant hold, and so I knew after I got done with the second one, I just knew that that super glue, it was just thinner, and I just had a feeling that it wasn't going to hold very well, and I was right about that. I just think it just wasn't thick enough. Um, so I went ahead and just knocked the nails out that were not adhered and started over on those and went ahead and used the Gorilla Glue for those. I spray painted one flower frog black and one copper. And now, because they just look so new with their fresh coat of paint, I'm going to take some of this antique Waverly wax and some of these sort of chippy brushes from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to messily apply some of this antique wax to make the finish a little more uneven, to make it have a slightly older look. I just love how these turned out and how affordable they were to make. And I think to everyone's eye that it's a pretty good trick to think that it might actually be an antique flower frog. If they picked it up and looked at it closely, they might would figure out what it is. But I just love how these turned out. For this next DIY, I took a food can, and this food can was some lump crab that I used to make crab cakes. And I'm taking some of these gems from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to make one single file line around the perimeter of the can. And I'm just using this ruler here to mark, I think 3/4 of the way up, and just to give me sort of a guideline so that my line of gems is somewhat straight. The other items we're using is a candle holder, a glass candle holder from the Dollar Tree. I saw it and thought that looks almost just like a chimney on an oil lamp. So I grabbed it up, not knowing what I was going to do with it. You will also need just the ring to a mason jar lid and some glue. After I got through applying the gems, I went outside and spray painted both the can and the ring. I'm just gluing the ring to the underside of the can, and this ring is going to provide a ledge to set the glass candle holder down into. You could glue the glass candle holder to the base, but I just decided to keep them separate. And I was surprised at how easy that sticker came off of the bottom of that. These votive candles I also got from the Dollar Tree. I love the vintage vibe that this piece has and how it is a sort of a nod to an old oil lamp. For this next DIY, you will need this glass taper candle holder from the Dollar Tree and an empty and clean yogurt container. These are glass, and here's the brand. Last night, my son got done eating his yogurt and said snarkily, "Do you want me to save this so you can craft with it?" And I said, "No, I don't want your garbage to craft with. You can throw it away." But of course, after thinking about it for a minute, I thought, well, I could do something with it. And so I told him to put it in the sink and keep his comments to himself. So I'm just going to take some of this clear Gorilla Glue, and I'm using a wet paper towel here to wet the yogurt container, and then I'll apply the glue to the candlestick and set it on there. You definitely will want to use a clear glue if you're not going to paint it. Super glue works really well also for adhering glass to glass, and E6000 works as well. I took it outside and spray painted it with heirloom white spray paint. And now I'm just going to take some antique wax by Waverly and age the paint just a little bit. It looked a little too new. So I'm just lightly going to go around and using this paintbrush from the Dollar Tree, brush on a little bit of this wax. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked these DIYs, please give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. It would help my channel out so much. And don't forget to check out that link below that will take you to Heidi Sonboul's playlist, where other channels are doing farmhouse DIYs. It's so awesome that she does these challenges and really has created a DIYer community. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day.